Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, this channel. Thanks for stopping by. Looking forward to spending the next 10 or 15 minutes with you talking about my favorite makeup brushes. Now, I probably wouldn't have thought to do this video, so I can't take credit for it. Actually was a request from a subscriber, so you know who you are. This is for you. I actually have received a couple of requests for this over the course of the last few months. So when I got the most recent request, I thought, okay, I guess I'll do a video on my favorite makeup brushes, just so that if you are more beginner, you kind of know what works for me. If you are just a makeup lover like me, you know what works for me, and maybe you can kind of go check something out, see if it also works for you. A lot of my makeup brushes, I have, well, not a lot, I would say some of my makeup brushes I have taken over, I've taken by recommendation of somebody else, by a YouTube video, whatever the case may be. So I also have quite a few, well, not quite a few, like that's a lot. I have 2 sets by IT Cosmetics for holidays and another single. And so if you're looking to see what IT Cosmetics has released for holidays, because I will already tell you up front, they are one of my favorite makeup brush brands. Anyways, so if you're interested to see all of this, then just stay tuned and keep watching. Guys, so I'm not really going to go in any particular order. I guess the most logical thing would be to do, face, concealer, eyes, this, that, contour. I'm not going to do all that. I am really just going to go into whatever I have in the bunch in my hand, and whatever comes out, I'll tell you why I love it. So let's get started with the first one. So first one actually will be foundation. Let me put these down somewhere, because if not, we're going to have a disaster. I've got a couple of different ones for foundation, but the first one is really my favorite, and it's by IT Cosmetics. This was, I think, their very first love is the foundation brush that they release every October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This one has the pink chrome handle and is in the, kind of in the shape of a heart. It's supposed to be, but if you were to look at it like this, you wouldn't know unless I kind of combed it for you. This blew my mind several years ago when I first picked it up. It was what seemed to just buff in my foundation the best. At that point in time, I had not found a brush that I loved for putting on foundation without it looking like it was just kind of sitting on top of the skin. Let me also say my preferred and favorite method of applying foundation is a sponge, a beauty blender, a Morphe beauty sponge. There's a few out there. Beauty sponge is my favorite way to apply, just because on me it ends up not looking so cakey, so layered, whatever. But there are still times where I do use a brush. I used to always use a brush before I used a beauty sponge, and this was and still is one of my top favorites. It really does a great job. It's really dense and it has a good thick handle, and it just really does a good job of buffing it into the skin. IT Cosmetics, their bristles are so soft. The only downside to their brushes I have found is that they shed a little bit. At least this one does. Especially when I wash it, there's a few that I kind of have to pull out because they're sticking out. Aside from that, they're soft. They blend everything so easily, whether it be face, eyes, whatever. They are just an incredible and very high quality makeup brush brand. And they're not, I mean, they're pricey. They're a high end, obviously, but it's not outrageous. The other foundation brush that I have loved very, very much since purchasing, and I got this one at Ulta a long time ago. Even the label has the plastic has rubbed off. It's by Pure Cosmetics, and it's one of these little paddle toothbrush kind of brushes. I can't afford the real deal. I forget even what brand makes them, but this was, I think, 30 bucks. I got it at Ulta, and it blew my mind. It's so dense, it's so large, and just, you kind of have to hold it up here because the plastic is not the best quality, and you can feel it kind of bend. I've heard of people's breaking, but I do like to just go like this, and when I'm applying my foundation, just buff it in. You cover a whole lot of territory. It buffs it in really nicely. Again, doesn't leave it sitting like a layer on top of your skin. This one is incredible. Let me move on to bronzer. This is a Tarte brush, and Tarte can make some really nice brushes. Now, I won't say all of their brushes are amazing, because sometimes when they come out with the limited edition ones, as far as the sets, sometimes for me they feel a little plasticky, and I'm not crazy about that, a little flimsy. This particular one, I don't even remember what it's called. It's the Super Duty something, and it is, I think I don't know if you can find it at Sephora. I did purchase mine at Ulta when it first released because I had seen promo pics, and I have been in love with it since I purchased it. It looks extra clean because I have recently washed it. So that's another thing I like. You wash it and the bristles return back to pink. It's not like super dingy and dirty. It's like an hourglass type of handle, so it's skinny here, it gets thicker, so wherever you want to hold it to get the best application. I love the territory that this covers with bronzer without making it look too much. It spreads it out, it makes it so even. It is so ridiculously soft and I love it. This is my absolute favorite brush for applying bronzer. Let's move on. So as you know, if you're a regular on my channel, I apply cream highlighter. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. I apply cream highlight as my base for my powder highlight because I want an extra intense, super glowy pop of highlight. This IT Cosmetics brush is what I have used pretty much ever since I got it 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe it's 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember, but it's been a few years for applying my cream product. It doesn't look all stippled and gross. It blends it in really, really well. This came in a set and I don't even know what that set was. It was the Airbrush something. Came in a set of 3. This one a little bit smaller, one a little bit bigger, all kind of the same shape. This is the medium size. And again, it's dense, but it's bendy enough to really buff in that cream highlight product. And I cannot live without it. In fact, the bottom is so beat up from me like grabbing it and throwing it back in the cup, grabbing it and throwing it back in the cup. This is a tried and true for me. And basically, most of these brushes are brushes, guys, that I use on a daily basis. They are my favorites for a reason. And I have so many more, but the others just get neglected because they just don't work for me as well. It's kind of like the perfect selfie. You kind of have to go through a lot to figure out which are the few that really are tried and true. This is a Wet n Wild brush. Came in a set last year for holiday, and this is what I use for contour. Now, y'all, again, if you're a regular, know I don't like to contour super often because I have never really been good at it. However, with a few tricks that I've learned on YouTube, one of them being the powder right here to kind of clean that up, it looks a little better. It was just looking too muddy and messy for me, and that trick has since helped. But this brush has also helped quite a bit. I don't even know what this is called. It's a little dirty, sorry. But they don't put their names on the brushes, and I don't know why. This did come, like I said, in the holiday set last year, which is an incredible value. It was 30 bucks. Came with like 10 or 12 brushes, I don't remember. And I have actually very much enjoyed quite a few of that set. I hope they return that set, like maybe another set with different kinds of brushes. I don't know. But I also love the chrome pinky purple type of handle. But this is perfection for my contour. It's small enough and it just it does the trick. And I also use mainly cream products for bronzing, especially the Fenty Matchstick, because I tend to get a little bit more of a precise application that way. Let's move into highlight. Again, if you are a regular tried and true on my channel, you already know what brush is my absolute favorite for highlight. If we were on a game show, you'd probably get it right and win all the money. It's the Anastasia A23. I have not been able to stop using this for my highlight since I purchased it the year it was released, which was like around Christmas time. It was like around Black Friday time, what, 3, 4 years ago? This has been, I've tried other highlight brushes, nothing compares. And this is the same one, so they are sturdy and durable. They're good quality. I obviously have washed it quite a few times. And the lettering has since come off the little handle, but this thing is so good. It is dense enough, flimsy enough, like it's that perfect middle to pick up and just, it's not a fan, but it's also not super dense. You know, it just evenly distributes the highlight without being extra, but I like extra, so if I want more, I just go in with more. This is perfection. If I had to pick a favorite makeup brush of all time of anything, it would be this one, and I think you cannot go wrong. If you have not tried this for your highlight and you're kind of in the market for a new highlight brush, you need to check this one out. It's so bomb. Now, let's go into eyes real quick. Now, there's going to be quite a few brushes in here. I kind of threw several in, even if they're not like my top, but they're ones that I use on a very regular basis. So let's start with blending brushes because it's what I have the most of. Now, blending brushes, I do have a top #1 favorite, and that is the MAC blending brush. Let's see if I can, it's the 217. I have had this, no joke, for about 9 years. I just washed it And look, it is super clean. The bristles just clean up so nicely. It doesn't even look like it's 9 years old. And I have heard that time and time again. You've probably heard it time and time again. MAC brushes are an incredible investment because yes, they're costly. However, they will last you for so long. 9 years, still going strong. I assume I'm gonna have this for another 9 or 10 years. I don't know. This is my absolute favorite blending brush of all time. It's small enough to get into that portion of the crease to really deepen up. It's large enough to be doing your transition color. Now, I do use a different brush for my transition shade because I've gotten to where I really love to use this one to deepen up either the crease a little bit lower or the outer portion of the lid. This brush is perfection, and yes, this will remain in my #1 spot for blending brush. But let's go into a few others that I like very, very much. Now, this Sigma brush, again, I've probably been using this one for like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. I'm not even kidding. I bought it in a set that was like $100. It was, I think I remember the shade was Bunny because it's pink and blue. And this is, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to, it is the Tapered Blending E40. Now, what I find funny is it's called Tapered, yet I don't know that I see that it's tapered. However, it's large enough for me to use this as my transition shade all over in my crease. It's what I use day in and day out. Every single day, tried and true, I use this brush. It's incredible. This is what it looks like. It just applies the pigment so perfectly, and I love it. So that's that one. Few other honorable mentions, one being the Wet n Wild blending brush that came in last year's holiday collection. Again, no name or number on this brush, but it is perfect. It's kind of not too big, not too small, and you can use it to, you know, blend additional shade, to add more. Let's just say that one of those that I just showed you is dirty. I'll revert to this one, so it gets used pretty often. The BH Cosmetics, this just says 6. I don't know. I think based on the set I bought it from, it was #6. Anyways, so this BH Cosmetics makes some incredible brushes for the price. You get quality. They don't sacrifice anywhere on quality. It's really good, and it's like, with a coupon, it's like 20 bucks if you can buy them at Ulta. This blending brush is incredible as well. I use this quite a bit for the outer portion of my lid, almost on a daily, and you can tell it's pretty dirty. I haven't washed this one in a few days. Lastly is a Tarte brush. This is, and again, this Tarte kind of being one of those where, depending, they can make incredible brushes, but there are some editions, limited editions, that are not amazing. This is the Make Believe in Yourself, the Unicorn collection, and this is kind of that, I don't know, it feels kind of plasticky to me as far as the bristles. However, I love the size of the, first off, the handle. It's nice and skinny, so I really am able to kind of, I don't know what it does. It just helps that the handle is skinny. The size of the bristles is just also perfect for doing those things when I need to go into the outer portion of the lid. So the quality for this one wasn't as like, oh, I don't like this one as much. I actually like this one a whole lot. But again, a lot because of the handle. But those I use very regularly. And then let's move on. So this is the shade that I use for my inner corner. It is a Wet n Wild brush that I got for 99 cents at the grocery store. I think you can still grab it. Everything on the handle has worn off, so I don't know what to tell you that's on there. But it's small enough. It's a small little paddle brush, and I like that it's not super, super dense. I hate it when brushes are like super thick, because a pillow, I'm like, there's powder in there. It's not it's not giving me all the product I picked up. This one is perfection. It's small enough to get into your inner corner like that. And it picks up a good amount of product. It disperses a good amount of product. I can't live without that one, and I use that one practically on a daily. Okay, so as far as concealer, for the most part, I use my beauty blender to go in with concealer. It's how I've been doing it for quite some time because it helps it not look as cakey. I like how it looks better. However, the times that I use a brush to apply foundation, I end up using the Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush to apply my concealer, and that's because it's got that little point in the middle, the little pico in the middle like this, and it just is perfection for just kind of like stamping that concealer in there because it's got that angle, so it's easy to just kind of get in there and do that. This one is such an incredible brush. I was never crazy about it for foundation. I don't like how it applies foundation. It's too thick, too dense, too short. As far as cutting the crease, because I cut my crease quite a bit. You've probably seen it if you've seen any of my Get Ready With Me's. This is the Sigma Concealer F70, and this is the only brush I have ever used to cut my crease, and I love it. It's almost a little more dense than I would like, but I have found that it works very well, and it has been the one that I have used every single time, as I mentioned. Okay, moving on. This is just a little detailer brush. If I'm wanting to do kind of like the whole cut crease look, but like with the glitter line in the crease, this is one of the products that I use. And again, it's a BH Cosmetics. It has the number 10. I don't know if that's standard or if it's just for this set. But this is, if you want detail work, this is the skinniest, most precise. I mean, I have never come across, it's almost like there's nothing there. It's so thin. So if you struggle doing a wing liner and you want to do gel liner with a brush, this is not a slanted brush, but it actually is so thin that you can, if you mess up, it's easy enough to correct because it's so small. This is an incredible brush. Moving on, another, well actually let me grab both of them. Another Tarte brush, but my shader brushes. So what I use to apply my shadow on my lid on the days that I'm not using my finger, because you know those metallic and foiled shades, I usually go in with a finger. But number one, I have again been using this for about 9 years now. It's the MAC 239. It's kind of rubbed off, but I think I still see the 239 on there. This is one of their shader brushes, and again, 9 years, and look, it looks almost like, I mean, aside from the writing on the handle, it looks almost new, it seems like. These brushes, again, if you're looking for something that's going to last you a very long time, you need MAC brushes. They are the most amazing brushes out there, in my opinion. Everyone has their own opinion, but they are incredible. Now, I also can't speak to the MAC travel size holiday editions that they put out. I don't think they're the same type of hairs. Those are obviously made a little bit differently to sell them to you at a better price, because they're usually minis. But they're permanent ones. These are incredible. Anyways, this is what I grab pretty much day in and day out to apply shadow on my lid when I am using a brush. And as a backup, my favorite is the Tarte. Again, make believe in yourself. It's the perfect size handle, and I really love that the thickness, I guess, it's not so dense. A lot of shader brushes now, it's like they're this big. It's like a pillow for my eye. And as comfortable as that sounds, I don't like how those apply shadow. This one is a perfect backup for me. So it was a limited edition set, so for those, I do apologize that you can't get your hands on them anymore. Next up, if you're looking for a slanted brush, this is what I used to use all the time, and this is a BH Cosmetics. Now this one is a little bit more recent because I picked up this set a little more recently. It says number 9, but BH Cosmetics, again, in my opinion, has the best slanted. Sigma has really good ones too, but after a few years mine kind of went bad with the hairs going like that. But this one I find to be even thinner than the Sigma, and it helps make a great wing. If you need something steady, if you need something to just make that line, it is perfection. So that is that. And then we have got a couple more. Let's see, Pencil E30 by Sigma as well is my favorite for applying shadow on the lower lash line. This thing is so good. It's not too thick, but it's not too thin. It applies the perfect amount of product for me to just kind of, if I want to smoke it out, if I don't want to go too thick and just kind of look, too dark, this is perfection and is what I usually use for my lower lash line. Last but certainly not least, this brush is so incredible, you guys. It's the Sephora Pro Drawing Shadow, and it says number 41, I guess. I got this on a Weekly Wow months ago, and it looks a little strange. It almost has kind of a triangular shape to it. It's really bizarre, but I have found this is the best brush for when I want to cut the crease without, not cut the crease, but like, yeah, kind of cut the crease, but without using concealer to cut the crease, When I want to do that line there and kind of maybe take it out like I've done from time to time. I think I did that for my Natasha Denona Safari palette video. This is the brush I used. I have gotten to where I can't live without this if I want to do that kind of look. I'm not a very creative person, so if I see something on Instagram or YouTube or whatever that I like, I'm like, I want to replicate that, but I'm not very steady. my makeup is never perfect. I'm pretty basic when it comes to that. And so this helps me so much when I want to do something a little bit more intricate like that. And it makes it look like, hey, you know, she kind of knows what she's doing. This, like, so much help. I love this, and if you can still get your hands on this one, I would hands down recommend this. Okay guys, those are my favorite brushes. I hope you found that helpful. Maybe something in there that was a little nugget that might help you with your makeup application. Real quick, I kind of just want to give you a little preview of what IT Cosmetics has released for the holidays, because this really is the best time to pick up their sets. And like I said, they make some of the best brushes out there. I think MAC is first on pretty much anything related to brushes, but it runs a close second for me. Not a close second, a second. They make really beautiful brushes at the holidays, and it is a really amazing deal. So first off, this is the Make a Night of It brush set. Now, it's hard to see through the packaging. This one was $48 and is absolutely stunning if you want, you know, brushes that look extra. So the, oh, I don't know if I'm able to, yeah, I will be able to take it out. Okay, so it comes with a clutch, which first off is beautiful. So it is like a going out clutch. It's got a zipper on the trim. It is stunning and it's very spacious on the inside. What I really want to show you are the brushes. I have not yet pulled them out of the package, but they have rhinestones on the handles, and like I said, if you want something that looks extra, and the bristles feels like they are consistent with their normal bristles. I love this. And again, $48. This looks kind of funny with me staring at you in the background there, but this is what they look like. You get 3 shadow brushes, 2 face brushes, or 3 eye brushes, I guess I should say. Super incredible, $48, and I am so excited to put that one to use. This other one I actually have not opened yet, but so I'll show it to you through the package. It is the Make It Happen brushes 3-piece eyeshadow brush set. I did not know they had released this, so I was in store the other day. They are 3 eye brushes, and the handles are like number 2 pencils, and they've got a little saying. One says, "You do you," another says 0% luck, 100% hustle, and the last one says, "Slay girl, slay." Let me bring you up close so that you can kind of see. There's the eyeshadow brush, 28 bucks. It has a little makeup bag, a little brush bag, but look, they are neon shade handles, but they are like number 2 pencils, and I don't know if that's going to come through or not, but you know how number 2 pencils have all those different, like, I don't know, the shape to it, and then on the back you can tell from the picture that the bottom part is like an eraser. So I think this is incredible. The little bag is so cute. It looks like a little school pencil bag, which I love. 28 bucks, honestly, you can't go wrong with that. Last but certainly not least, one of their newest, every year they come out with the Love is the foundation brush, the one I showed you in the chrome handle. This year's, I don't know if they've come out with one like this before. And again, I haven't opened it yet, but just so that you can see, it's got hearts in the handle. It's a clear handle. It's got a ton of confetti hearts in there. It is stunning, and it also looks like a heart at the top. If you watch Raw Beauty Christie, she used this on one of her videos the other day, and she had mentioned that Ulta had brought it back out. So if you're watching that video, then you know that that brush is this brush, and these are incredible. I cannot steer you wrong in recommending IT brushes to you. Guys, that's it. That completes this video. My favorite brushes, some recommendations as far as new brush sets that you may want to pick up for the holidays, and I hope you found it helpful, enjoyable, maybe even a little entertaining. Guys, before I let you go, you know I need to give you the verse of the day. This is just in an effort to encourage you, to help motivate you, to help speak some peace and kindness to you, maybe you're having a very chaotic day. I hope this helps just calm your spirit a little bit. Today's comes from 1 Peter 3:10, and it says, "Whoever would love life and see good days must keep his tongue from evil and his lips from deceitful speech." You guys probably have noticed that the last few videos, maybe the last couple videos, I've kind of just mentioned something, a verse about like the tongue and kindness and speaking kindness and this and that, and it's just because it's the truth. You know, the tongue has such power. It's just my prayer that in your daily life, that as you come across other people, that you just speak kindness, that you say a kind word. You don't know whose day you can change by doing that. All right, guys, thanks so much for sticking out this video with me. I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.